She thought she found the man of her dreams online. But what he wanted wasn't love, it was control. This is the true story of how digital charm became deadly obsession. Emma hadn't been on dating apps long. After her last relationship ended in heartbreak, she was cautious but hopeful. She downloaded Lovestruck, a new app promising AI-matched soulmates. Within hours she got a match, Daniel Carter. Handsome, witty, and charming. His bio read, "Looking for real connection in a world full of fakes." Their conversation started innocently enough. Shared playlists, favorite movies, late-night laughs. But something about Daniel felt too perfect. Emma brushed off the feeling. Maybe this time things would be different. Daniel moved fast. By day 2 he was calling her my girl. By day 3 he told her he loved her. Emma laughed it off, calling it sweet but intense. Yet the flattery kept coming. Every insecurity she had, he seemed to soothe. Every doubt he erased. It felt like being wrapped in warmth, until the warmth started to feel like a cage. One night, Daniel asked Emma for a selfie, not just any selfie, one in lingerie. She hesitated. He said it was just for him, no one else would see it. She sent it. Minutes later he asked for more. When she refused, his tone changed. He accused her of playing games, of being cold. She apologized. She didn't want to lose him. Daniel began asking who Emma talked to, who liked her posts, who messaged her. He said it was out of love, that he didn't want anyone hurting her. He encouraged her to delete other apps, to focus only on them. She did. Slowly, friends stopped hearing from her. They noticed she'd gone quiet online. But Emma didn't notice. She was too deep in his world. Emma tried to meet Daniel in person. He always had an excuse: work trips, family emergencies, bad weather. But his stories never matched up. Sometimes he was in Miami, sometimes New York. Once he claimed he was deployed overseas. When she pressed him, he grew cold. She backed off. She didn't want to upset him again. Daniel controlled everything. What she wore in videos. How often she posted. If she talked to anyone outside their chats. He said it was for her safety, that strangers were dangerous. He monitored her phone remotely through a security app he helped install. She thought it was sweet. It wasn't. It started with a joke, a dark one. "If you ever leave me," he said, "you'll regret it." She laughed nervously. "You didn't?" Later that night, she woke up to a message, "You wouldn't survive without me." She blocked him. 5 minutes later, her Instagram account was deleted. Her email locked. Her phone buzzed with unknown calls. She unblocked him. He sounded relieved. Emma came home to find her front door unlocked. Nothing was stolen, but her laptop was open. Photos of her sleeping were on the screen. She screamed. Called the police. They checked cameras. Nothing. Neighbors saw no one. She was alone. Or so they thought. Daniel messaged her, "I'm always watching." A friend reached out. Told her she needed to get help. Said someone matching Daniel's description had been linked to missing women. Emma looked him up. Found a name, Jason Miles, wanted for cyber stalking and harassment. His alias? Daniel Carter. Her heart sank. She packed a bag. Tried to leave. The locks wouldn't turn. Someone had changed them. Emma managed to send one last message to her sister. "If anything happens to me, look at my phone. There's a hidden folder called Daniel. Don't trust anyone named Jason." Emma's sister, Mia, didn't hear from her for 3 days, unusual even during a new relationship. When Mia tried calling, all she got was voicemail. She messaged Emma's last known contacts, checked social media, and finally remembered that final cryptic message. "If anything happens to me, look at my phone. There's a hidden folder called Daniel. Don't trust anyone named Jason." Mia filed a missing persons report, but the police said it was too early. People disappear for weeks before being declared missing. Frustrated, she broke into Emma's apartment using a spare key. What she found chilled her to the bone. Mia found Emma's laptop still open on the couch. The screen was dark, but after typing in the password, which Emma had once shared with her, she saw a folder labeled Daniel. Inside were screenshots, messages, voice notes, and even a hidden app Emma had installed, one that gave remote access to her devices. Mia copied everything to a flash drive. Then she noticed something else. The folder had been accessed recently, after Emma disappeared. Someone had been inside this file. And they knew someone would come looking. Mia took the flash drive to a local tech expert, Leo, who helped her dig deeper. Together, they traced the IP addresses used by Daniel Carter. They discovered multiple fake profiles across different dating apps, all linked to the same number, same email pattern, and same writing style. One name kept appearing in old search records, Jason Miles. Mia did a quick search and found an article from 2 years ago titled, "Local Woman Claims Stalker Followed Her Across State Lines, Suspect Still at Large." The suspect? Jason Miles. As Leo dug further, he found more victims. Women who had matched with Daniel or Jason, only to go silent shortly after. Some had moved cities. One had changed her name. Another had vanished entirely. Mia realized this wasn't just about Emma, it was part of a pattern. A predator using charm, manipulation, and technology to control women, and possibly worse. She contacted the police again, this time with evidence. This time they listened. With a warrant, police raided Emma's apartment. They dusted for prints, scanned devices, and reviewed security camera footage from the building. What they found was shocking. Someone had entered and exited Emma's apartment multiple times over the past few weeks, always wearing a hoodie and mask. More disturbingly, the cameras showed someone disabling them remotely as if they knew how the system worked. This wasn't just stalking. It was premeditated, tactical, controlled. Leo continued analyzing the flash drive and found encrypted files buried deep within the Daniel folder. After cracking the code, with help from a cybersecurity friend, they uncovered a chat log between Jason and someone else, a second person. Jason, target is fully isolated. Ready for extraction. Unknown, location locked. Proceed when ready. Jason, she won't know what hit her. Mia's hands shook. This wasn't just one man. There was someone else involved. And they were planning something bigger than just Emma. The police expanded their search and found a network of fake identities tied to Jason Miles. He'd created dozens of online personas, each tailored to lure specific types of women, often those recovering from breakups or trauma. He targeted the vulnerable, the lonely, the trusting. His MO was always the same. Build fast intimacy. Gain control through flattery and fear. Cut off outside communication. Erase the woman's digital presence. Then, silence. Leo made another discovery, a private forum on the dark web where Jason posted under a username at shadowlover_92. Inside, he detailed his methods like a twisted self-help guide. Step 1. Find your target's weakness. Step 2. Become their solution. Step 3. Rewire their reality. Step 4. Control every move. Step 5. Disappear without a trace. There were comments from others praising him, asking for advice. Some even bragged about doing the same. Jason hadn't just mastered digital manipulation. He'd built a following. Mia started receiving strange texts. At first they seemed like spam, links to adult websites, random numbers, odd phrases. But then came one that froze her blood. You shouldn't have opened her phone. Her phone began glitching. Apps crashing, photos disappearing, background noise and calls. She felt watched. Paranoia set in. She went to the police again. They offered protection, but not until a threat could be verified. That night, Mia unplugged her smart TV, covered her laptop camera, turned off location services, and slept with the lights on. Just when things seemed hopeless, a woman named Claire Benson came forward. She had dated Jason 2 years earlier, and survived. She told Mia and the police everything, how Jason gained her trust, how he isolated her, how he threatened her life if she ever left. She escaped only because she faked her own disappearance, leaving behind a note and vanishing to another state. Now, seeing Emma's face online, Claire knew she had to speak out. Because if no one stopped Jason now, Emma might not be the last. Jason Miles was arrested in a quiet suburb outside Chicago. Police raided the apartment after tracing encrypted messages from the dark web forum. Inside they found multiple burner phones, laptops filled with stolen identities, hidden cameras pointed at every room, a locked safe containing passports under fake names. He didn't resist. He smiled as he was cuffed. At the station, detectives began piecing together his digital footprint. Every message, every video, every photo told the same story. Jason had been hunting women online for years, and getting away with it. But this time, someone had fought back. During interrogation, Jason remained calm, almost amused. He answered questions with riddles, twisted logic, and disturbing charm. "You think I'm the monster," he said, leaning forward. "But I'm just the one who understood the game." Detectives played recordings of his conversations with Emma. His tone shifted slightly when they mentioned her name, not regret but something colder. Possession. When asked about the second person, the one who had helped him, Jason smirked. "I don't work alone. Never have." Then he stopped talking. Claire Benson, the first woman to escape Jason, sat down with investigators. She provided detailed accounts of how he isolated her, manipulated her, and even broke into her devices. She showed them hidden messages she had saved, voice notes, screenshots, GPS tracking logs. One file stood out, a voice memo Jason recorded while she was asleep. "You're mine now," he whispered. "No one else can have you." It was chilling proof of premeditated control. Claire also confirmed what everyone feared. Jason wasn't acting alone. There were others, people who trained him, funded him, gave him access to tools that no ordinary stalker should have. Leo and Mia continued digging through Jason's encrypted files. They discovered a private server labeled Project Elysium, a network of predators operating under a shared system of manipulation techniques, digital infiltration tools, and victim databases. Inside were profiles of over 200 women, their personal info, social media habits, vulnerabilities mapped out like targets. Jason wasn't just a lone wolf. He was part of something bigger. A cult of control. A digital cartel of psychological warfare. And they were still active. Jason was formally charged with cyber-stalking, identity theft, unlawful surveillance, and the kidnapping of Emma Carter. His trial was set to begin in 6 weeks. Mia was named a key witness. So was Claire. Dozens of other victims came forward, some using pseudonyms out of fear. The courtroom buzzed with tension on the first day. Jason entered smiling. Reporters lined the benches. Cameras flashed. As prosecutors laid out the evidence, the messages, the tech, the dark web ties, the world started to see the full scope of what Jason had built. And then came the defense. Jason's lawyer argued that he suffered from dissociative identity disorder, that he wasn't fully responsible for his actions, that many of the messages weren't even sent by him, but by another version of himself. "My client is a victim too," the lawyer claimed. "Of trauma, of isolation, of a broken system." The judge allowed expert testimony. Psychological reports flooded the docket. Jason's past was examined, his childhood, his parents, his mental health records. But Mia knew better. This wasn't madness. This was strategy. While Jason was in custody, police executed a second search warrant on a storage unit linked to him. Inside they found a small, soundproofed room, walls lined with foam, cameras mounted in every corner. On the desk, a laptop playing live feeds of several homes across the country. Emma's apartment feed was still active. So were others. Someone else was watching. Detectives froze the footage. They traced the IP address. It led to a secure server overseas. Whoever Jason worked with, they were still out there. Watching. Waiting. Claire took the stand. Her voice trembled at first but grew stronger with every word. She described how Jason made her doubt reality. How he gaslit her into believing she was lucky to be loved by him. How he erased her life piece by piece. She played the voice memo for the court. The room went silent. Then Mia stepped up. She read Emma's final message aloud. "If anything happens to me, look at my phone. There's a hidden folder called Daniel. Don't trust anyone named Jason." There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. Even the judge wiped a tear. After 4 weeks of trial, the jury reached a decision. Jason Miles was found guilty on all counts. Cyberstalking, identity fraud, unauthorized surveillance, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit crimes against multiple victims. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. As officers led him away, Jason turned to Mia. "You think this ends with me?" he whispered. "You haven't seen anything yet." Then he was gone. Back home, Leo decrypted one last file buried deep in Jason's backups. It contained a list of usernames, hundreds of them, each tied to a profile, a method, a target. Underneath, a single phrase was repeated. "Elysium never sleeps." Mia stared at the screen. Jason was gone. But Project Elysium? It was still out there. Somewhere. Watching. Leo traced one of the usernames from Jason's decrypted files to a remote location outside Las Vegas. Satellite imagery showed a heavily secured compound surrounded by miles of desert. No listed owner, no utility records, no history. Mia knew they had to investigate. They contacted a private investigator named Derek Lang, a former cybercrime agent who had once infiltrated dark web rings. He agreed to help but warned them. "If you're right about this being part of something bigger, you might not like what you find." Using satellite photos and drone footage, Derek identified the layout of the facility, including underground sections that weren't visible from above. It wasn't just a hideout. It was a prison. Under the cover of darkness, Derek and Mia broke into the compound using a stolen access card from an unsuspecting employee. Inside they found rows of rooms filled with tech. monitors showing live feeds of victims' homes, hard drives containing blackmail material, audio logs of conversations between predators and their targets. But worse than all of that, there were people inside, bound, gagged, watching screens. One of them looked familiar. Mia's breath caught. It was Emma. Emma was weak, malnourished, and traumatized, but alive. She hadn't been used for ransom or leverage. She was being studied. Her reactions to isolation, fear, love, betrayal, all recorded in real time. Jason hadn't been her only captor. He had been her handler. Someone else had been watching everything, analyzing every reaction, testing the limits of psychological breakdown. As Mia untied her sister, Emma whispered, "They said I was perfect, that I could be broken and rebuilt." Then she passed out. Before security could respond, Derek hacked into the mainframe and downloaded everything: logs, video archives, encrypted messages. Back at a safe house, they began going through the files. And then they saw him. A man known only as Director X. His voice appeared in nearly every file, giving orders, instructing handlers, reviewing test subjects. Jason had followed his commands like a puppet. Even more disturbing, Director X had been observing Jason during the trial, even commenting on how he handled pressure. Phase 1 complete, one message read. Now we begin Phase 2, mass implementation. This wasn't just about stalking or kidnapping. It was about weaponizing emotional manipulation at scale. Mia and Leo uncovered a chilling plan buried in the files. Project Elysium's goal wasn't just to control individuals. It was to build a system that could manipulate entire populations, through AI-generated relationships, social media algorithms, and personalized psychological attacks. They called it emotional hijacking. Imagine falling in love with someone online, only to realize months later that they never existed. Or receiving a message from your ex, urging you to do something dangerous. All generated by an AI trained to know exactly what you'd believe. Jason had been the first successful field test. Emma had been the perfect subject. Just as Mia and Leo prepared to release the information to the public, someone leaked their location. A trap was set. They were ambushed while trying to meet a reporter. Leo was taken. Mia barely escaped. When she checked her phone, she found a message waiting for her. "You should have left it alone. Now your friend is paying the price." Attached was a live feed. Leo bound to a chair facing a camera. Behind him, a masked figure stepped into frame. Not Jason. Someone new. Someone powerful. The mask came off. The man behind Project Elysium was revealed. Dr. Adrian Voss, a renowned behavioral scientist and former government contractor. He had designed the psychological framework used by intelligence agencies, until he went rogue. He believed emotions could be engineered. That trust could be manufactured. That love could be turned into a weapon. "We don't need war," he said to Leo. "We just need people to believe what we want them to believe." He offered Leo a choice: join them or disappear. Leo refused. The screen cut to black. Mia didn't stop. She released everything: the files, the videos, the testimonies. It went viral. News outlets picked up the story. Victims came forward. Government agencies launched investigations. Project Elysium was exposed. But Dr. Voss? Gone. Vanished. No trace. Only a final message sent to Mia. "You think you won. But the game has only just begun." Emma recovered slowly. Therapy. Support groups. A new identity. She started speaking out, helping other survivors. Claire joined her. So did others. Together they formed a nonprofit called Safe Signal, dedicated to educating women about digital deception and protecting vulnerable users online. Mia became the CEO. She vowed never to let another woman fall victim to a love bomb again. But she knew the fight wasn't over. Project Elysium was fractured, not destroyed. And somewhere Adrian Voss was still watching, still planning, still waiting. Months later, Mia received a package. No return address. Inside, a USB drive. She plugged it in. A single video played. It was Leo. Bruised, tired, alive. "I'm okay," he said. "For now. But they're still here. Still everywhere. You have to keep fighting. Keep exposing them. Because if you stop, they win." The screen went black. Then text appeared. "Elysium sleeps, but never dies." Fade to black.